Hello folks, my name's David Edgar. I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast. I'm talking to you after Rangers 2-0 victory over St Mirren at Ibrox today. This was a strange one for me because it's been a long time since I woke up in the morning ready to go to Ibrox and was just utterly convinced that we were going to win the match, and not, if we play well or anything like that, if we do what we're good at. I just thought there's no way that they can beat us today. And I suppose there's always the possibility of a red card. But even that didn't stymie as Rangers took the lead after 14 minutes. Alfredo Morelos with a lovely finish actually to put us 1-0 up. Another great game from the Buffalo. And then after 28 minutes it was 2-0. Connor Goldson getting in the end of a terrific delivery from new signing Borna Barisic. He's going to get a lot of assists this season. He's excellent from dead balls, which we all sort of knew anyway. I mean, that was one of the things that intrigued us about him when he was playing for Osijek against us. But up popped Connor Goldson, who was the skipper today with James Tavernier rested, and thumping header into the corner 2-0. And at that point I thought 5 or 6. I'd taken us to win 4-0 beforehand, but I thought I've maybe underplayed this, and I thought we could get 5 or 6 without really breaking any sweat, to be honest. But 31 minutes, that went out the window slightly when young Ross McCrory, who was I think in today to again give Scott Arfield a rest before we take on Maribor in the second leg on Thursday. Jamie Murphy lost the ball in midfield. It was played through. St Mirren striker was clear in on goal, and I thought it was a red card. He makes the tackle, doesn't get the ball, brings down the man, and it's this whole double jeopardy. Some fans saying, well, these days it's not last man, and last man was a bit of a misnomer anyway. What it is if you make that tackle inside the box, it would have been a yellow card because a penalty would be given, and because of this whole double or triple jeopardy rule, then the referee would just give a yellow card. But when it's outside the box and you deny a clear goal scoring opportunity, it is still a red card. So I need to see it back. Haven't seen the highlights yet, but at the time I thought, no, that was a red card, and I still do. And that's the thing, if you get a decision that's fair. I know there's been a lot lately about Rangers fans paranoia. It's not paranoia. We're quite open when we get a decision and we think, okay, I wish that hadn't happened, but it was a red card or a penalty or whatever. But in this case, it's happened so often to us that decisions have been... I mean, what other club in the world has 3 red cards rescinded in a year? It's bloody ludicrous. So St Mirren, though, came a wee bit more into it. They hit the bar, although Rangers had hit the post just beforehand with another header from a free kick. So half time, and you're thinking, okay, we need to keep it tight, maybe can get a goal. And I think Rangers did that very well in the second half. Obviously, not the attacking threat that we would have had 11v11, but we were comfortable. Alan McGregor's not had a lot of saves to make. St Mirren didn't really make any clear-cut chances, and Rangers might have done a bit better on a couple of opportunities to finish the game and put it away, but it was satisfying. It was about getting the win, and one of the reasons it was about getting the win today was obviously Hearts defeating Celtic yesterday. And look, it's really early in the campaign, I get that, but psychologically, every single time Celtic gave us even the sniff of a lifeline over the last couple of seasons, Rangers have continued to just not grasp at it and stay marooned below them. And Celtic could be forgiven for thinking, it doesn't really matter what we do, we can lose the odd game because they're not going to do anything. And that's why it was important for us to win this match today. I mean, obviously Rangers should always be beating St Mirren, but I think that psychologically we really needed to do that for ourselves first and foremost, just to prove, we are competitive in this division. And this is the thing about this Rangers team, we're not a joke anymore, and that's probably the most pleasing thing about what Steven Gerrard's achieved in his short time at Ibrox so far, is that he's making this Rangers team look like a Rangers team, and that's huge because it's been so long since we've had one that you could trust. And we'll lose games, of course we'll lose games, we understand that there are guys who aren't going to work out. That happens when you bring in a lot of players, but there's a shape and a spirit and a discipline and a belief about this team, all qualities which have been lacking since Rangers came back into the Premier League. So overall, a pretty satisfying day. I would have taken a victory before the ball was kicked, but the way that we looked, and yeah, look, it's obviously ridiculously simplistic, but you do think, right, this is what we're doing with 10 men against teams in the SPFL. What will we do when we get 11 finally? We will need 11 on the park next week. We've got a very tough match in the Betfred Cup away at Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock have got no reason to fear Rangers after their performances against us last season, and they won't, and they will give us a hell of a game. But this is the type of match you have to win. A tricky away tie in a cup. These are the type of games that we want to be winning routinely again. It won't be easy, but we should have enough about us to go and do it. But before that, of course, the second leg of the tie against Maribor, that tie's not done yet, nowhere near it. The manager said himself it's only half time, and he himself personally has overcome deficits like this in Europe single-handedly in his case. So we'll need to be really in the groove in the next two matches to get what we need from them. If we can come through them, then the momentum continues to build, and for a new manager, that's really all that's important. So thank you very much for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow night in podcast land with a new episode of Heart and Hand the Rangers podcast. If you want to hear more from us, then please come and check out our Patreon. It's $1.99 per month, and you get 4 shows per day. All sorts of things, from post-match analysis, which is up already for today's game, to previews, to historical shows, to interviews. We've got a brilliant interview with Craig Moore tomorrow, and yes, he does discuss the Olympics. So thank you very much for listening to me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll talk to you again on Thursday night after Maribor. Till then, take care. Cheers. Bye.